could when I was small, and it's so picturesque. Looking through the crystal ball, can you picture this? And it isn't sabotage.
Ciao, and welcome to Geo's Paintbrush, where 5 minutes is all it takes to be blown away by one of the world's greatest artists. Living in Chicago, where the Art Institute holds the second most impressive collection of Impressionist paintings in the world, second of course only to the Louvre in Paris, one could easily do an entire series of shows on this remarkable collection alone. In today's show, we'll consider our third work from Jean-Claude Monet, to me the most beautiful and thought-provoking of his series of 25 Haystacks paintings. Haystacks, End of Summer, oil on canvas, painted in the field, late summer 1890, part of the permanent collection of the Art Institute of Chicago, which owns 6 of Monet's Haystacks paintings. Benvenute.
Remarkably beautiful, don't you think? We've already covered thoroughly in previous episodes Monet's groundbreaking intentions as an artist, capturing a momentary impression of a subject in glorious color and light, true to his own perception in time and place, not as he knew it to be from memory or prior knowledge. We've also discussed the Impressionist desire to one-up photography, to not simply record the natural world as it appeared in repertorial black and white, but to capture the world accurately as it appeared to one human being in one particular time and place, in powerful light and color, something 19th century photography, limited to black and white, was incapable of achieving. We've also previously discussed in some depth how this approach, made possible by the development of portable paint in tubes, enabling painters to literally paint in the field for the first time, doing so then not from memory in their studios, but from perception in the moment at various times of day and in various seasons, revolutionized attitudes toward color and authenticity in art. So instead, let's consider what this particular moment in time Monet portrays here, haystacks in the French countryside around the end of summer 1890, might mean beyond the innovative artistic approach. How does one respond to this painting upon encountering it for the first time? And why has it endured nearly 125 years now as an artistic masterpiece? As I continue my study of art in the Western world, this is the 51st episode now of Geo's Paintbrush, I've come to this conclusion. All great art is about death, or impending death, or how death lends meaning and value to other central human experiences, like love, the search for meaning, the creative impulse, or the convictions one is willing to lay down his or her life for. Perhaps the 20th century American poet Wallace Stevens stated it best when he wrote, "Death is the mother of beauty." In other words, we treasure our companions, are driven to find meaning in this life, seek ways to achieve immortality, and, despite our natural instinct to survive, to endure, there are ideas and causes for which we are willing to make the ultimate sacrifice of our own lives. It is precisely because our lives cannot last, that we appreciate and cherish each other and all that is beautiful and remarkable in our world. When I first encountered the work portraying late summer in Monet's series of oils portraying the same haystacks in different seasons and at different times of day, I was struck by two things. First, there is the gorgeous, invigorating myriad of colors, life-giving shades of green, bright yellows, mature aging golds, pure bright whites, and the first hints of autumn browns, which foreshadow the change in seasons to come, and the reality that all living things share a similar fate. Second, I was struck by the contrast between the lovely sunlight that illuminates strands of the field before the haystacks and the contrasting shadows that fall on the same field, creating stripes with the lines of light, capturing for me how all in this world, from grass to wheat to man himself, stand simultaneously alive and decaying, animated, bright like the sun, and yet at the same time slowly giving ground to the shadows, aging as time passes, fading slowly into autumn and winter. I think it's this universally comprehended, essential truth that makes this particular painting so moving, so powerful, so easy to relate to. The ennui, the bittersweet passing of summer, when life blooms at its fullest into fall with shorter days. Not death itself, but instead the long, slow, gradual evolution toward winter, toward a peaceful hibernation, a quiet, natural solitude, a mournful and yet somehow welcome, anticipated passing into a restful state, is something all have experienced during the seasons of their lives, from childhood through adulthood. Late summer is bitter because it foreshadows the end of life, the parting, the farewell most regret, but at the same time it strikes me in this painting as also somehow sweet, necessary, a beautiful rite of passage, a stunningly elegant, essential aspect of being alive. In Monet's hands, late summer possesses its own beauty, its own sweetness, suggesting that each season, every stage of life on this earth, serves a purpose, is related in a meaningful way to the other seasons and stages, and cannot exist on its own. As Monet worked in this field near his home in Giverny in late summer 1890, painting this piece, I wonder what he was thinking about. Was it all about color and light and the contrast offered in the large series of Haystacks paintings he executed? Or did he experience that same ennui I did when I first encountered the work, reflecting on the end of another summer and how time's inexorable march toward winter, for all of us, somehow captures the very essence of life on this earth as it's always been, beautiful, sweet and rich, and yet simultaneously ephemeral, temporal, and fleeting. In a single moment in time, more than a century ago, Monet managed to capture every moment in time for all of us. Art at its most powerful and relevant. Grazie mille e ciao.
Like I could when I was small, and it's so picturesque, looking through the crystal ball.